Hello, welcome to today's video log. My name is Adam. If you're coming in for the first time, I do this every day. I do a video log of what I'm getting up to every day. Hit the subscribe button and make that bell ring. You'll get notified when I go live every day, and you'll get notified of when I upload a video, which is I'm working on kind of one right now to do with flight simulation. So yeah, I've been up since 5 o'clock this morning, and a typical day for me is getting up at that time, getting the exercise out of the way, having breakfast, before 7, and I'll usually have a I usually have a cup of tea, sorry, a coffee, and watch a bit of YouTube or watch a bit of telly for like 45 minutes. Then it's breakfast. And then at 6 o'clock, between 6 and 1/2 past, sometimes it's even 7. I'm ready to start my day. I'm ready to start whatever I've got to do. So most of the time, it's the YouTube channel, making content for the YouTube channel, setting up flight simulator, or writing. Yesterday it was all three. Mostly it was those flight simulation because my flight sim had basically just gone weird. So something probably to do with the new hotfix the new patch or whatever I applied to it. But anyway, so yeah, it's just doing videos for that. Today, continuing to install stuff into it. So I've just installed this. What is this? This is the landscape basically for the flight simulator. So 80 gig of data here, and basically what it does is it defines the mountains, the valleys, all the elevation points. It gives you a mesh underneath everything, and so everything's a lot more crisp in terms of mountains are a bit more defined rather than just soft lumps. They're actually craggy and more accurate to the real world. And it's really detailed. But anyway, just boring stuff, really. So yeah, in the next couple of hours, I'm going to crack on with that. Then at about 9:30, I've got to go get ready. So I've only got 2 hours left. And then I've got to be at the cinema for 11. Got a day shift there till 6. Then the missus and me, we got the night to ourselves. What have we been doing? We've been watching. We just finished watching The Office. My girlfriend hadn't seen The Office, so for the first time, let me take the headphones off. Shut up. So for the first time, we. Oh my god, man! What's with my beard here? For the first time, she watched that. We loved it. We're gonna watch the Jack Ryan series next. And we watched A Quiet Place last night. She loved it. We like John Krasinski. Krasinski for Fantastic Four. Give it to us. Yes, with Emily Blunt as Miss Fantastic. Sue Storm. That's it. And Zac Efron as Johnny Storm, as the flame torch, and The Rock as the Thing. I mean, that would be a stellar cast right there for Fantastic Four. In fact, what would the story be? What would the story be? Okay, the story would be set back in the 20s, right? Before all Marvel ever happened, the Fantastic Four happened, and it's in direct relation to the snap, right? When Captain America had to go back in time to give out all the stones in their correct places, that entering of the timeline and caused a surge of gamma ray, and these people happened to be in the vicinity of this surge, and it mixed with their DNA and their molecules, and gave them all these superpowers. And they discover their superpowers. Now we pick in the 1920s. They're already together. They're already living and under like witness protection, okay, by the government, because they realize that they got these powers, and it's like, we got to keep our eye on these people. So they keep them under like house arrest whilst the four of them are trying to figure out what's going on with their bodies. How can they utilize this for good? and so they decide to, it's set in New York, and the city is like Gotham, it's crime ridden, and so they utilize their powers to clean up the streets at nighttime, and during the day they kind of work on sort of understanding what it is they have, and they crack it. They discover DNA for the first time. I'm gonna have to rename this title now. They discovered DNA for this time, for the first time, and they are able to harness this power of theirs, into a single serum, and it's like the government are like, yeah, yeah, cheers, we'll take that, we'll use it for curing illnesses and making people healthier. But in actual fact, what they're going to use it for is to create a super soldier. And they do try it, but it goes horribly wrong. They use a prisoner at the time. They've got some German or Austrian prisoner, Johann Smith, and they do it on him, and it goes horribly wrong. They underestimate the power that it gives him, and he then runs off and legs it off across to Europe, and eventually will become the Red Skull as we know it. And so they assign a scientist, a friend of Johann's, in fact, the Stanley Tucci's character from Captain America. They give him the serum. They say, listen, you need to find one guy. You need to find the right guy, because it depends on what they've got within them. Right, this is really doing me head in now. I've got to turn this down. It depends on what they've got within them to who can harness this power, right? And so he goes off and he finds Captain America in the 40s. By the way, this film is set from 1920 to 1940, like literally just before Captain America. It ends with Stanley Tucci going off to find Captain America, basically. And so, yeah, Fantastic Four wrestling with their own sort of how they get along as a four family unit, how they work as a team at night, kind of like The Incredibles, that first film where they have to work together to get Syndrome, kind of like that. But this is the crime of New York as the enemy, not one single enemy, not one single bad guy, but several crime lords that they have to sort of sort out and create a peacetime for. This is why we haven't seen him in the MCU. This is because it's all been set in 1920 odd, and they're already dead. So yeah, I mean, maybe even you sort of get meeting, Howard Stark or something as a young kid. Who knows? But that's how I would see it play out. Now, the serum that they created, the government utilize it, and back in like the 40s, I think you could have the after credit scene of a guy, the general, giving it to his lower in command, which is Stryker from X-Men, right? And he says, listen, we need to create some soldiers with, give this to people randomly, see what it does to them, right? So he goes off and he gives it to a group of soldiers, and in one individual, it makes their skin, like, regenerate. It makes their DNA regenerate really fast. And he's like, he's our man. We've got this Project X we want to do, right? And he's got the perfect DNA structure for it. His body will withstand the process. We're going to put a special metal, right, into his body and infuse him, and out will pop Wolverine at the end. And that's my story projection for the Fantastic Four film, set in 1920s. It's got The Rock as the Thing. It's got John Krasinski as Mr. Fantastic. It's got Emily Blunt as Sue Storm, and it's got Zac Efron as Johnny Whippet Flameboy. And that would be awesome, honestly. Marvel, make it happen. All right, there, you can have that for free. All right, if that's the film, you can have it for free. Just give me a credit. All right. I gotta go now because I've only got less than 2 hours left now. So I'll see you tomorrow, guys. Let me know your comments below for what you want the Fantastic Four film to be, and I'll have to retitle this. The original title of this, right? What was the original title of this? I don't know. It was something like All Night Long or something. That was the original title. But I'm gonna keep it to the original title, and then I'm gonna put extra Fantastic Four story outline. Okay. See you guys. Bye.